So before we can start working with the Kubernetes in our Terraform, we need to ask this question to ourselves: what is Kubernetes? Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration tool. I have heard this word container orchestration so many times, and I believe you did the same thing. So don't worry. As we progress along, I will explain you what really container orchestration tool is. But for now, just remember this word container. Okay, so Kubernetes manage this container in a sophisticated way. They call this orchestration. So just for now, remember Kubernetes is just an open source project and it has to do with the container orchestration. Okay, so Kubernetes was actually designed by Google back in 2014. So Google had this Kubernetes in their lab and they heavily trusted on Kubernetes. At one time, they have millions of containers running under Kubernetes. So now, as of 2016, this Kubernetes is now maintained by Cloud Native Computing Foundation. And this is an open source foundation. As of 2016, Kubernetes project is not actually managed by Google, but it is maintained by CNCF. Sometimes you might have seen that Kubernetes is pronounced as K8s, right? They're K8s, right? So really it has no significance in there, but just for the information, as you can see, it spells as Kubernetes, right? K, and then there are 8 letters. So if you skip all these 8 letters, you put them 8 and then SK, it becomes K8s. Okay, so not to spend so much time on why they call this, what is the reason. It has nothing to do with the learning of Kubernetes, but just know that sometimes they pronounce Kubernetes as K8s. K8s help manage containerized application in automated fashion. Okay, what really Kubernetes is, it just take application at the end of the day. That application is running within a container. So Kubernetes manage this containerized application in a very automated fashion way, that it has a lot of stuff around that application. It provides its high availability, fault tolerance and everything. Okay, so it is similar to Docker Swarm, but much more sophisticated tool. So Docker Swarm is actually where you have a Docker running in multiple systems, and if one system or a node goes down, the other will pick up. This is called Docker Swarm. It is like a cluster of Docker engines. Okay, Kubernetes is the same way. It is a cluster of multiple nodes, of multiple servers, but it is much more advanced than the Docker Swarm. Okay, and K8s really rely on container engine, and under the hood their container engine could be anything. It could be a Docker, it could be a Linux container, LXD, Cryo, RKT, etc. So what you will get out of this introduction, if someone will ask you what is Kubernetes, simply put that Kubernetes is nothing but it manage an application that is running inside a container, and Kubernetes provide sophisticated ways to manage that containerized application.